Fabian, da Slon e o Barreto já estão aí. Boa tarde, gente. Barreto está aí. Ô, Tassi, você está me ouvindo?
Oi, te ouço.
Uma pergunta. Nós já temos, já está aberto para a audiência em geral, os convidados, ou só para nós? Eu acho que já está aberto.
Já tem convidados, né, Dina?
Para os convidados também, verdade?
Sim.
Tá. Então, a gente começa... tem um minutinho, vou dar 2 minutinhos, mais um minuto, né? E aí eu começo, Opa! Eu vou desligar a tradução, porque eu vou falar muito, senão vai cair em cima de mim aqui, tá? Estou desligando. Vamos lá.
Boa tarde, pessoal.
Boa tarde. Nós vamos aguardar mais 2 minutinhos e vamos iniciar o nosso webinar, ok?
Ok.
Ok.
Eu vou iniciar. Good afternoon, hello everybody. My name is Nadine Lopez. I am the Trade Commissioner responsible for the oil and gas sector in Brazil with Global Affairs Canada, based at the Consulate General of Canada in Rio. I will be your host, your master of ceremony today. Before we move on with the webinar and the quick opening that we will have, I would like to give you some instructions and information about this webinar. First of all, the webinar is translated into English and Portuguese, so translation is a tool, is an option that you have. If you have a look at the drop-down menu, you will see interpretation, the button. So you can choose either English or Portuguese. It's already working. We have decided to keep all microphones open, considering this is a by invitation only event, and so we thought it would be a better option. But I would like to remind everybody to keep your microphones muted and your cameras off in order for us to have, you know, better quality of the event. So without further do, without further information, I will move on to the first person that I would like to invite. I just forgot something. In terms of the Q&A session, questions and answers, please, for those in the audience who would like to ask questions to the Canadian speakers, the Canadian companies, you can write your questions on the chat, and we will ask them during the Q&A session after the last presentation. Is that okay? So I would like to start by inviting Mrs. Marie-Hélène Belin, who is our Commercial Counsel and Trade Program Manager, to give some opening remarks. Marie-Hélène, it's a pleasure to have you here. It's over to you.
Thank you very much, Nadine. Good afternoon, bonjour, boa tarde. It's a real pleasure to be here today for this event. So the trade program in Rio is here to bring together and to facilitate connections between Canadian expertise and Brazilian interest. So that's exactly what we're doing today. And we're really pleased to showcase some of the Canadian technologies in the sector. Canada is at the forefront of Industry 4.0 in artificial intelligence, IoT, automation, ocean tech. And so there's different solutions and technologies available to address the challenges of sustainability and also ESG. So today we have many Canadian companies, a very nice selection of solution and technologies to show to you. It will be a very short presentation, but enough for you to see if you would like to know more about the technology or know more about the company. So if it's the case, afterwards, I invite you to get in touch with Najini so you can be connected to that company and have a meeting with them. So without further ado, I would also like to thank our partner for this event with the SLUM, the Latin America Society of Maritime Petroleum, Terminal and Monobuoy Operators, that will also follow with some welcoming remarks with Fabian Sanchez or Francisco Barreto that I also see with us today. So thank you very much and have a good session.
Thank you, Marie-Hélène. Now over to our dear partner, SLUM. I believe Fabian Sanchez is going to give some opening remarks too. So Fabian, over to you. Are you already there? Hi, Barreto. Not sure Fabian is with us or if it's you going to
just
talk.
A minute.
Sure. No problem. So let me introduce you, everybody, to Mr. Francisco Barreto, Vice President with SLUM, based in Brazil. Barreto, over to you. It's a pleasure to have SLUM as our partner with all your support to this event. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Oh, she's Fabian. I think he can't connect to show the presentation about SLUM. And
I'm afraid we can't hear you very well, Barreto. There's an echo for some reason.
okay, I can contact Fabian. I will take the presentation after. You can go with the event. Okay.
Yeah.
After we show our presentation.
Absolutely, no problem. So I can call you guys at the end and you make your presentation. No problem. All right, guys. So let's move on to our first Canadian company presenting today. So I would like to invite Mr. Patrick Paranhos from Kraken Robotics. Patrick Paranhos is the Director of Business Development with Kraken Robotics. And our first speaker, Patrick, Are you with us, please? The stage
Hello,
is over to you.
I'm here.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, for the time being, yes, that's okay. Go ahead.
Very well. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Patrick Paranhos. Thank you for the kindly invite. Kraken Robotics is a Canadian company. It's a public traded company, so we are on the stock exchange. Please do not take what I say as a decision to or against buying stocks, but feel free to trade. Kraken deals with underwater robots, sensors, and systems. We are going to be focusing today on the specifics of the C-Vision. C-Vision is an underwater laser imaging systems, which is usually deployed with remotely operated vehicles. It's a tool for asset metrology and 3D digitalization. It can be used in observation class vehicles. It can be used in work class vehicles. It's quite a breakthrough in underwater 3D and computer visions. It combines edge AI, laser technology, and photogrammetry into a single system. In real time, C-Vision produces three-dimensional point clouds, which are metrology accurate and can be used to take measurements of any structure on the seafloor or water column. A very basic example of a task that are fulfilled regularly with C-Vision is anode inspection. Então, inspeção de anodo. Eu esqueci que eu falo português nessa. Que é Brasil. Inspeção de anodo é um exemplo que a gente faz e você consegue ver aqui no nível do detalhe que a ferramenta consegue entregar na medida volumétrica do anodo e toda aqui, por exemplo, uma coloração baseada no nível de corrosão que aconteceu em cima do anodo. Uma coisa muito importante quando você está escolhendo a sua ferramenta para fazer metrologia submarina é que você tem que considerar sempre velocidade de aquisição e se a ferramenta consegue operar em movimento e em distância. É muito fácil você conseguir detalhes quando você está operando de muito próximo. Agora, conseguir detalhes enquanto você está operando de longe é uma coisa que traz muita eficiência operacional, salva muito tempo. Tempo é custo, especialmente em operações de barco. Então, chegar nesse nível do detalhe a distâncias acima de 1 metro é uma das coisas que a gente trabalha muito. E um segundo detalhe importante quando a gente trabalha com C-Vision, a gente não precisa de nenhum sensor inercial. Então, não existe uma necessidade de calibração. A ferramenta pode operar em movimento e também aquisitar dados de objetos em alta velocidade, como uma amarra. Ele tem um sistema autorreferenciado de navegação visual que a gente utiliza para fazer a correção. Então, isso é um detalhe, por exemplo, da amarra. O trabalho que a gente faz bastante é medição de classe de amarra, mas não só medição de classe, a gente também faz a medição e análise de corrosão em amarra. Então, você está com RLV operando, você tem um objeto na sua frente, ou você anda continuamente ao longo do objeto, ou você clica e pede um scan. Um scan demora 5 segundos, é extremamente rápido. Uma vez que você tirou o scan, você tem todo o objeto que estava na sua frente, você tem ele como uma fotografia, você tem um vídeo e você tem também uma point cloud, que é uma nuvem de pontos 3D que é metrologicamente precisa. Um trabalho até que a gente fez com uma das operadoras foi comparar o quão preciso é o C-Vision aquisitando uma amarra embaixo d'água, quanto essa mesma amarra aquisitada no laboratório de metrologia na superfície. Então, essa é uma coloração da corrosão, você consegue ver a medida de profundidade de corrosão do C-Vision embaixo da água numa amarra a 1 metro de distância, comparado no laboratório de metrologia a 20 centímetros de distância. E aqui você consegue ver como é que o C-Vision consegue capturar todas as corrosões que são significativas na amarra e mapear a amarra em 3D com precisão. Para fechar, um dos trabalhos que eu acho bem interessante que a gente fez para uma operadora em águas profundas foi um trabalho que foi ambos de metrologia e digitalização e de engenharia reversa. Esse ativo em específico, houve um rompimento da linha, esse é um Umbilical Terminal Assembly, a linha rompeu, mas a operadora não tinha o CAD. Então, isso aqui não é um vídeo do flyby, isso é o vídeo do flyby na nuvem de pontos reconstruída usando a ferramenta. Então, se você consegue ver aqui no detalhe, você consegue até ver os pontos, isso aqui é uma nuvem de pontos. Isso não é um vídeo. Então, isso tudo já foi reconstruído e digitalizado, onde o cliente não tinha mais o CAD, ele não sabia qual era a espessura do duto, calculou a espessura do duto, ele não sabia como é que ele estava de acesso lateral, ele não sabia a distância. Então, a gente consegue medir tudo e no nível de detalhamento que você consegue até ver onde ainda existe uma ring groove, ou seja, onde não foi propriamente limpo, você consegue ver os detalhes. E aqui, por uma questão de escala, você vê ainda o manipulador, você vê quão detalhado é a ferramenta, você consegue ver que usa até o manipulador ainda preso. Então, a gente fez esse trabalho de engenharia reversa. Aí, por exemplo, uma foto do C-Vision, o 3D. Como é um modelo digital, você pode isolar qualquer parte do modelo e medir. E da medida você reconstrói o CAD em si também. Era um trabalho que o cliente não achava que ele tinha mais solução e ter que trocar todo o umbilical terminal assembly e resolveu. Então, 6 minutos. Muito obrigado pela sua atenção.
Muito obrigada. Thank you very much, Patrick. Let's get back here. Excellent presentation. I'm sure there'll be lots of questions from our audience. So now I would like to invite our next Canadian speaker, Miss Patricia Sestari from Voice, and after Luke from Voice also. Patricia is marketing lead. Actually, sorry, I've made a mistake here. It's only Patricia who's going to be speaking. Luke is only going to be here with us for the Q&A session to join Patricia. Anyway, Patricia, it's a pleasure to have you here with Voice today. Are you ready for your presentation?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, welcome. Let's go.
Thank you. So, olá, todo mundo. Meu nome é Patrícia, como ela falou, eu sou aqui da Voice. Eu sou brasileira, resido no Canadá, então eu vou fazer a apresentação em português hoje, tudo bem. Então, para começar, perdão, vocês estão conseguindo ver a apresentação certinho, todo mundo? Acho que sim, né?
Sim, sim.
Então tá bom. Então,
coloca a tela cheia só, porque por enquanto não está cheia.
Carla, você pode pôr a tela cheia para mim, por favor? Acho que foi. Bom, eu vou seguir, então, só porque...
Not yet, but go ahead. Go ahead, yes. No problem.
Tá. Então, só para apresentar a Voz, para começar a apresentação, nós somos uma empresa canadense, a gente tem sede em Waterloo, em Ontário, a gente faz parte de um grupo de empresas chamado Covelia Group, e dentro desse grupo também faz parte a Sonardyne e a Ivan, são empresas que talvez vocês já estejam familiarizados com, eles têm uma presença bem forte no Brasil, eles têm até escritório no Brasil também. A Voice, a gente iniciou operações em 2007, com o desenvolvimento do primeiro subsea laser scanner, que estava disponível comercialmente, e depois, em 2011, a gente teve o primeiro dynamic laser scanner, que foi integrado a um AUV, que foi o Huggins, ou do fabricante Kongsberg. Se quiser, pode passar para o próximo, Carla, por favor.
Eu acho que está com um pouco de delay. Eu estou numa tela Our Team More Than Just Hardware.
Sim, pode passar para o próximo agora.
Ainda não foi para o próximo. Não sei se a gente está tendo...
Eu já estou no Our Mission, eu não sei, eu acho que está com um leve delay.
Ah, bom, deve ser isso.
Pode ser que ela esteja com 2 monitores e está projetando o monitor errado, gente.
Não, eu só estou com o monitor mesmo.
Entendi.
Tá aparecendo o que para você, Patrícia?
Para mim ainda está no segundo, mas tudo bem, eu vou seguir então.
Ok.
O próximo slide seria falando da nossa missão, que basicamente o que a gente está focando hoje a nossa missão é construir sensores ópticos que proporcionam a autonomia debaixo da água. Então, tudo o que eu vou falar hoje vai rodar em torno disso, porque esse é realmente o nosso foco. E aí eu vou passar para o próximo slide já, que é basicamente uma overview dos nossos produtos. E para introduzir basicamente os sensores que nos trouxeram onde a gente está hoje, nós temos os laser scanners e nós temos as câmeras, e eles podem ser integrados no veículo do cliente ou eles podem ser usados de forma independente em estruturas fixas. Além disso, a gente desenvolve soluções customizadas para diversos tipos de veículo. O intuito é simplesmente simplificar a adoção da nossa tecnologia de alta resolução em qualquer plataforma de AUV ou ROV e também nas líderes de mercado. E tudo isso se relaciona com a nossa missão final, que é a questão de a nossa tecnologia permitir a tecnologia subaquática e os veículos subaquáticos de operar da forma mais autônoma possível. Agora eu estou no slide 5, Carla, só para referência, quando você conseguir mudar aí. A gente quer basicamente, falando dessa questão de autonomia, os nossos sensores ópticos, eles possibilitam autonomia porque eles geram um conjunto de dados da mais alta resolução e sempre em tempo real, o que permite que os veículos subaquáticos tomem decisão com mais facilidade e eficiência. Esse processo de gerar dados de alta resolução em tempo real inclui gerar uma nuvem de pontos de dados, de pontos laser e fotos que são instantaneamente aperfeiçoadas com o uso de tecnologia artificial para melhoria da qualidade da imagem. Esses aperfeiçoamentos que eu mencionei incluem coisas como retirada da distorção da imagem, o nivelamento de luz, a correção de cor por meio de algoritmos de machine learning.
Desculpa interromper. Para a gente aqui, está aparecendo que a gente está vendo a tela de Carla Guedes. Então, talvez, Carla, seja com você. Ele tá travado no slide 2. Acho que se você clicar ali do lado esquerdo, no slide, ele vai passar, Carla. Não sei.
Eu já estou no slide 5 na minha tela. Já estou no Enable Autonomy.
Mas aqui a gente não está conseguindo ver realmente. Que pena.
Tá bom. Vamos
Vê
em frente.
se assim, aberto
Agora
assim no
foi.
PowerPoint.
Agora foi.
Só que assim não está em full screen, mas eu vou deixar assim que pelo menos
Não,
vocês
mas
conseguem ver.
Sem problema,
Beleza.
sem problema.
Tá ótimo.
Obrigada,
Obrigada.
Ila.
Obrigada, gente. Então, nesse slide 5, a última coisa que eu ia comentar com vocês é que, uma vez que esse processo de aprimoramento é realizado a bordo do sensor, os veículos robóticos são capazes de detectar qualquer tipo de anomalia em tempo real, e isso melhora a navegação do veículo. Eles são, daí, capazes de fazer o rastreamento de oleoduto, bem como automatizar o workflow de dados com entregas imediatas. Se quiser passar para o 6 agora, então, Carla. Perfeito. Então, no 6, a gente está fazendo uma comparação do dado que é coletado com a tecnologia sonar e comparando com a nossa da tecnologia de laser. O sonar está na esquerda, o laser está na direita. Então, é mais ou menos para explicar de novo como os dados de imagem com mais detalhes possibilitam autonomia. A gente está mostrando esse exemplo do oleoduto. A reprodução que foi criada pelo sonar do oleoduto fica incompleta. Os pontos de dados que faltam na imagem deixam muita coisa sujeita à interpretação, e não fica claro se esses pontos que estão faltando são devido ao caminho que foi percorrido pelo veículo, ou se realmente existe alguma coisa nessa imagem que precisa ser melhor analisada e melhor explorada. Então, se uma pessoa teria dificuldade de interpretar uma imagem dessa, fica ainda mais difícil para a gente pedir que o robô tome esse tipo de decisão com esse conjunto de dados. Então, quando você olha para o laser, fica muito claro entender qual o atual status do oleoduto e tomar uma decisão precisa em relação à manutenção ou qualquer tipo de reparo. Então, os dados do laser proporcionam resultados qualitativos e quantitativos, que então é mais ou menos a ideia de uma maior precisão do status e integridade dos seus ativos. Esse nível de detalhe é realmente crítico para a gente conseguir atingir essa autonomia da qual a voz está tão buscando. Aí pode passar para o 7. O 7 é um vídeo... Se você conseguir... Isso. Perfeito. Então, enquanto vocês conseguem assistindo aí, eu vou explicando, é um outro exemplo de dados que foi coletado com o nosso laser de forma dinâmica por meio de um ROV, nesse caso. Essa estrutura estava em 1.800 metros de profundidade na água, foi coletado em Gana, na África. Foi possível verificar vários centros de perfuração que permitiram que os engenheiros realizassem diversos estudos nessa área e coletar todos os dados que eles precisavam. O resultado foi gerado em tempo real, então todos esses dados estavam sendo enviados através do cabo do ROV, usando um software de processamento, nesse caso a gente usou o software de processamento da AIVA, e dessa forma, recebendo toda essa informação em tempo real, o operador consegue decidir, garantir o controle de qualidade no dado coletado, e segundo, ele consegue ter certeza que toda a estrutura foi escaneada. Aí pode passar para o 8.
Patrícia, só lembrando, nosso tempo já acabou. Sorry for that.
Você quer que eu pare? Então, só faltava um.
Não, termina, só para te apresentar.
Então tá bom. Tá bom, eu vou mais rapidinho aqui. Então, o 8 mostra um pouco da nossa correção de cor. Então, você pode ser, assim, como a gente faz a melhoria da imagem dentro do sensor, a gente armazena também informação de posicionamento do veículo na foto, e as imagens escaneadas podem ser usadas em softwares de fotogrametria, e logo após a pesquisa ser concluída, não tem necessidade de correções adicionais. Você vê o ativo exato, como se ele estivesse na superfície, você vê a cor correta. E o último slide é só, mais ou menos, uma overview dos veículos no qual a gente já tem integrações atualmente, e que é só para dar uma ideia de tudo que a gente já fez até hoje. E, vou encerrar por aqui, então. Desculpa a demora.
Imagina, we apologize for any issues with the slides anyway. Thank you very much, Patricia. I'm also sure there'll be a lot of people asking questions about your technology, about voice technology. So let's move on to our third Canadian speaker today. So I would like to invite Mr. Sam Bromley from ROV3D. Sam, are you ready for your presentation? Welcome to the webinar.
Let me just share my screen here. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak today. Very much welcome touching base with folks in Brazil. Today I'd like to speak not solely about ROV3D, but also about an idea. The idea that is not merely about the capability of a technology that's important, but rather the availability of a technology that really brings substantial value. But let me first begin with a bit of an example. Let's actually think about olden day maps. I mean, fundamentally, the feature of an old day map is not much different than what a GPS system provides, except through a GPS system, it brought positional information everywhere. It made it more convenient. And it was those secondary benefits that gave us things like Taxi-Rio or Uber or positioning systems offshore. Similarly, 3D in our industry really started as a means to conduct very accurate measurements for engineering or manufacturing purposes. But today we're starting to recognize that the impact of 3D is growing. It's more increasingly about the benefits of situational awareness and change detection, long-term planning, and how you can 3D can give you insight for those kinds of activities. Moreover, technologies are converging. It used to be that you needed special cameras or special laser systems, and the work would often be done by experts. But I mean, today photogrammetry is a solved problem. I mean, you can do photogrammetry on your phone. Yes, there's difficulties underwater, but it's an old school mathematics that still gives great results. But if we build on the learnings of the past, we can actually use new algorithms to allow you to deliver live 3D scanning, subsea and poor visibility using any two off-the-shelf cameras. And it's that additional flexibility of a live stereo camera system that I think allows 3D to become more ubiquitously used and give you those secondary benefits that are of tremendous importance. Of course, a lot of 3D benefits also or 3D gives you a lot of benefits for extending your life of field. And I would like to argue that it's easy and reliable access to 3D data that will give you the greatest investment or return on your investment for over the life of your field. But of course, what is easy? What does it mean to have a technology that is easy to adopt? Why is availability and convenience important? And can a technology actually be practically deployed in the real world that satisfies this kind of criteria? So this is where RAV3D hopes to contribute to making your lives better in this industry. It's simple, empowering, and robust. And I'm going to talk a little bit about each of those topics. First, RAV3D is simple. It's very advanced software, but it's designed as a simple kit. It's just a software system installed on a computer, you install on a vessel. And the only thing it requires is 2 video feeds from the stereo cameras through the ROV. No external positioning system. We've made the algorithm and interface so easy that it just makes 3D a push button event. The pilot can fly around. When you see something of interest, you hit 3D record with very simple controls, much like a standard DVR. And because it's a fully live system, the pilot knows exactly the quality of the model as it comes in. If they see any gaps in the model, they can fill that in. And you know for sure that you have the data you need before you leave the scene. It's also empowering. We designed RAV3D and our business model to allow you to adopt RAV3D to have it there when you need it. You use the vessel's own crew. So we don't have a bunch of experts that we send offshore. We train your contractors' own teams so that they increase their own skill set and get better with time developing 3D models. And of course, because this is so transferable as a skill, you can start thinking more broadly in terms of reliable competence across your entire fleet. We're real world robust as well. Many cases, you need to have, a static scene where you're doing a lot of 3D scanning. We're very robust to in-scene motion. And we don't require any external navigational systems. We operate in incredibly challenging visibility conditions, whether it's actually poor visibility due to silt in the water or dust clouds or whatever, or in this case, a cloud of fish that are acting as continuous occluders. We can still scan through to the scene of interest. And because we actually use off-the-shelf cameras, in the inevitable case where the rough subsea environment causes damage to the camera, technically it's just a matter of swapping that camera out and re-diving, and you're good to go. So minimal interruption and risk to offshore damage. So these days, in some sense, in some regimes, it's less about the battle for the sub-millimeter. There are excellent products out there that tackle that case. But in the broader scheme of things, it's more about the ability and ease of adoption. So what I got here is a little graph that shows, there's just the traditional players in low visibility, for example, would be sonar systems, which suffer somewhat from poorer resolution. And then you also have excellent work such as laser and photogrammetry for very small detail regions and nice visibility. But throughout this overall regime, RAV3D fills this middle area. It's most operational conditions give you 3D situational awareness and measurements of the requirements you need while being very robust to real world deployments. So RAV3D is a real world proven technology, and our goal and its purpose is to empower your service providers to standardize on performance that you can rely on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sam. Very on time. Thank you for that. Now I am very happy to invite our next speaker. I would like to invite Braden Ray from Deep Tracker to start his presentation. Braden, are you ready? The show is yours. Over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm just going to share my screen here. Can everyone see my screen okay?
Yep, okay.
Awesome. So my name is Braden Ray. I look after our maritime and offshore energy customers here at Deep Tracker. Deep Tracker is a submersible robotics manufacturer. We provide tools for service providers to be able to do inspection work underwater. We offer remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, pipe crawlers for submerged pipe inspections, utility crawlers that have the option to have different payloads added, such as vacuum hoses or pressure washers, and we also make submersible cameras. A little bit about Deep Trekker. We were founded 10 years ago, looking at, as three friends were on a boat looking at a flashlight that they dropped off the side, looking up at them, and they were trying to figure out a way how to do it. From there, we've grown. We're almost 100 people at this point in Kitchener, Ontario. We're in over 100 countries worldwide. And so really the difference between our ROVs and what's on the market right now is really the ease of use. Can be picked up very quickly by anybody on your team that needs to operate it. We offer full training in person and virtually. Portable is a big thing for us, where our ROVs weigh between 70 and 15 pounds. So they're super portable. In one case, are battery operated, so you can use them anywhere you need to work. Durable. There's a lot of ROVs on the market. We manufacture, build, and test in Canada to make sure that when they're out on their job, they're going to work for you. And affordable. We wanted to make sure that everybody had access to these tools. So entry prices are very reasonable. And as you need to grow your ROV, you can with us. So here are some of the industries we serve in already: aquaculture, infrastructure, defense, search and rescue, to name a few. Energy is a big one for us, commercial diving as well. And here's our product lineup. The top row here is our swimming ROVs, followed by our submersible camera. The submersible camera is great for long-term deployments and needing to keep eyes underwater all the time. And below that is our crawler lineup that can fit in a pipe as narrow as 6 inches all the way up to a 36-inch pipe. And our submersible utility crawlers with all the different add-ons. We also offer a magnetized crawler to be able to crawl the side of steel structures and do inspections. You know, we're trusted by the military throughout the world and contractors everywhere. Here's a little on-screen display that you'll see from us. Really being able to empower integration with both underwater GPS systems and sonars to make these inspections as valuable as possible, to know where you are and what you're seeing in all sorts of conditions. Here are some of our applications for the offshore oil. We do hull inspections for ships, infrastructure inspections anywhere. Our robots are submersible up to 1,000 feet of water, so you can do both your low-lying areas and your deep water applications, as well as doing prop and propeller inspections. Here's just a quick picture of our portable crawler going into a sewer pipe. Being battery operated is a huge key for us to be able to do these inspections remotely anywhere in the world. Here's a picture of our mag crawler that I mentioned earlier, doing the side of a ship, doing an inspection with a sonar on it, as well as our vacuums for tanks, for tank cleanings, is a big asset for us. Here are some of our customers throughout the world. We're trusted by the United States Navy, Jotun, Hess, TDI Brooks, Hempel, to name a few. We also have a presence in Brazil already, and we're looking forward to being able to grow that. Here are just a few of the companies that we're working with. That's really it for my presentation. I know I had 6 minutes. I think I just got it in there, but looking forward to talking with you all on how we can make your inspections easier and safer.
Thank you very much. Braden, it was an excellent presentation as well. So everybody, because we had a little problem at the beginning of the webinar with our partner, they were going to speak, but we had a technical issue. Now I would like to invite our institutional partner to this event, which is SLOM. And I would like to invite Mr. Fabian Sanchez. Fabian, are you ready, or would you rather speak later on? Just quickly let
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. Before we move on with our next presentation, which will be Edify, I would like to welcome Mr. Fabian Sanchez, Technical Director with SLOM here. And please, Fabian, talk about SLOM. It's a great pleasure for us to have SLOM as our institutional partner and institutional support to this event. Please go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about our organization. We belong to SLOM, which is an organization. Let me see if I am presenting the full screen. Are you seeing full screen?
Yes, no problem. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. We are the Sociedad Latinoamericana de Operadores de Monoboyas in Spanish. But who we are? SLOM is an international non-profit technical organization. It's very important this because we are a technical organization. We have a main goal, which is to integrate all maritime terminals with all the authorities, service providers, and professionals within the sector, the maritime sector. What we do, we perform technical activities as courses, workshops, conference, meetings, in order to promote good practice and to have safe and sustainable and efficient operations. SLOM is owned by most of the all maritime terminals operators in Latin America. One of our associates are, for instance, Zenit from Colombia, Copec from Chile, OCP from Ecuador, Transpetro from Brazil, and CAF from Uruguay, etc., etc. We have a lot of operators who own SLOM. We have another kind of members, which are the service providers or good providers. We have a lot of companies that belongs to or are members of SLOM. This is a very good opportunity for them to promote their company names and their products. That's why SLOM main goal is to integrate the operators with product providers and authorities. It's very important, and this is our invitation to you to be part of SLOM, because it's a very good scenario to promote your products and your names. I'm sorry. Okay, what we did last year? Last year, during the pandemic, we organized a lot of workshops and courses. We have more than 1,000 participants in our courses. We performed courses in a presential and a virtual way. A little bit of presential courses because the situation, you know, the pandemic. And last year, we also had a conference we call La Jornada. La Jornada is our big event and is our big conference. We have the Jornada we divide in two parts. We have speakers, technical presentations. We have a room with a lot of technical presentations, and we have an expo where the providers can show their products and can be in contact with the potential clients. And these are the numbers of the last jornada. It was like an experiment because, you know, we were in pandemic, and we took a lot of risk to organize the conference, but it was a success. These are some photos from the Jornada 2021. Now, what we want to do is to invite you, first of all, to be part of SLOM. You can contact us and we can show you how to be part of SLOM. And secondly, to invite you to our big event that we will have in October in Cartagena. It will be the 18th Jornada. And we are hoping to have about 400 participants, about a room with more than 40 sponsors. It will be a very good and very big event. That's my invitation for all of you. And thank you very much for the opportunity to show what SLOM is. You can visit us in our website, and maybe you can write us to our email or contact to me or Francisco directly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fabian. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you guys as our partner in this event. Now, getting back, resuming presentations. To those who have joined recently, welcome to the Canadian Robotics Technologies for Inspections in the Oil and Gas Industry webinar. I am now very happy to invite our next speaker. I'm going to invite Mr. Stuart Kenny from Edify Technologies to make his presentation in conjunction with Maxio Monera. Stuart, welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can hear you well. Yes, go ahead.
And you can see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation, opportunity. I'm Stuart Kenny. I work for Edify NDT. The headquarters are in Quebec, in Canada, but we've got offices all over the world. I'm actually based in the UK in a place called Wales. Edify NDT was founded in 2011. It started off as an NDT manufacturing company specializing specifically in eddy current technology. Flagship product was an equipment called the Ectane, which is used for tube inspection, inspecting tubes for fitness for service. Since 2011, Edify NDT has had an aggressive growth. It's acquired numerous other NDT manufacturing companies and really targeted different NDT modalities as it went through its acquisition. So now we pride ourselves on being the only NDT manufacturer that covers pretty much all modalities of NDT. So from starting off with eddy current, we now do phased array ultrasonics, time of flight ultrasonics, guided wave, magnetic flux leakage, and many other NDT methods. Since the acquisition of the NDT manufacturing companies, there's also been some purchases of service companies. So I'm joined today by a few colleagues in Brazil who will be talking about our service offerings, which are specifically for subsea applications. But I'm going to talk briefly about our options for NDT robotics. So I'm the director of a group called NDT Robotics, which is based in Swansea in the UK. We really specialize in two forms of NDT robotics, what we call standard off-the-shelf robotics. And these can include all different varieties of NDT, from visual inspection to advanced ultrasonics and electromagnetics. And these are solutions that are universal within the NDT field. So we've targeted universal integrity issues that can be inspected using robotics. Robotics obviously allows for remote access deployment. So we're removing safety risks with rope access, scaffolding or vessel entry. but also provides a permanent record. So instead of relying on an NDT operator writing his notes on a piece of paper and handing in a manual report, all of the tools that we offer do provide a permanent record of those NDT results. But very recently, we've recognized that there's not only one tool in the toolbox, and even though we have targeted what we believe as universal applications, there is very regularly the need to design customized robots. So customers will come to us with integrity issues or to try and find defects that are difficult to locate. And we've got a group of experts, mechanical design engineers, who can actually take those inquiries from our customers, liaise with the NDT experts that we've got in the group, and actually design customized robots to tackle those difficult situations. We split our universal offerings into scanners, crawlers, and robots. I know I'm on time restraints, so I'll try and go quite quickly. Our scanners are typically manual, so they are robotic. They do collect recordable NDT data, but they're usually pushed by hand, and the information is then logged onto the NDT instrumentation. Our crawlers are turnkey solutions. So we've got dedicated crawlers for corrosion mapping of large storage tanks, pressure vessels, and pipework. And we've got more versatile crawlers that can be used in different environments. Again, it's modular, so depending on the damage mechanism or the material, we can change the NDT. And then our robotic solutions are much more modular. So the first two, as I mentioned, are turnkey. They're dedicated to one particular application, but our robotic solutions are modular. So customers can buy the robotic platform, and they can interchange their NDT requirements depending on the application that they're dealing with. So our manual scanners are broken into handheld corrosion mapping, looking for thickness changes on pipework, pressure vessels, and storage tanks. Weld inspection, so replacing radiography as a means for testing welds, both for in-service defects and during fabrication for new construction work. And then dedicated two-axis corrosion mapping, so improving the efficiency on pipework for looking for things like corrosion, erosion, and any defects that may be found around pipe welds. Into our crawlers. So the first crawler is our Scorpion. I'm going to try and play the video. It might not work, but it seems to be okay. So this is a remote access crawler. It's got a UT probe, which is dry coupled, so we don't need water irrigation for getting ultrasonic beams into the material. We can get thickness measurements. It's fully battery operated and portable. It's the only fully automated battery operated robot. That's a mouthful on the market, and customers like it because of that. There's no need for external power, external water. It's fully portable. The RMS is the Scorpion's big brother. So it takes that one line of information, one line of thickness measurements, and we can turn that into a complete color map. So quite a lot of customers buy this solution as a method for non-intrusive inspection. So during periodic inspecting of pressure vessels, for example, to remove the requirements for personnel to go inside the vessels, you can use the RMS to scan the vessels from the outside and give accurate wall thickness measurements, and also identify any internal attachments that are on the vessels as well.
Sorry, Stuart, just to let you know that you're
running out of time. Okay, just my last one then. As I mentioned, we have got customized robotic solutions. So any scenario that you think is going to be very difficult, then you can get in contact with us and we can build robots specifically for that application. And I'm going to have to pass over to my colleague now.
Okay, please, Marcio.
All right, thank you, Stuart. I'll be trying the hardest I can to speak very fast. Okay, so, desculpa, pessoal, TSC, muitas pessoas já conheciam a TSC a partir de alguns equipamentos já trabalhados, negociados no Brasil. A TSC hoje é uma empresa focada exclusivamente em tecnologias robóticas para o ambiente subsea, ok? Então, No Brasil, a gente trabalha principalmente com 4, digamos, espinhas técnicas de NDT acopladas em equipamentos robóticos. O primeiro é o ART, trata-se de uma técnica de ressonância acústica, ok? Muito utilizada aqui no Brasil já, principalmente para tubos flexíveis, mas também é aplicável para dutos rígidos, ok? A segunda é a técnica de ACFM, que é já bastante conhecida no Brasil ao longo de mais de 20 anos, e nós temos a capacidade de adequar essa ferramenta a elementos robóticos que vão alcançar locais, obviamente, que a mão humana não alcança, ok? O PEC é uma técnica de também indução eletromagnética, aqui voltada principalmente, como é uma técnica de screening, ela vai fazer um levantamento geral, dando percentual de perda de espessura. A grande vantagem do PEC nesse sentido é que ele é capaz de fazer inspeções até 300 milímetros de espessura de revestimento e até 100 milímetros de material base, ok? E a técnica de phase array é uma técnica revolucionária, sendo utilizada agora com tecnologia robótica, todos eles lançados a partir de ROVs. Pode passar. Então, assim, nós não estamos aqui reinventando a roda, a gente está, até ser subsea, está trazendo, claro, tecnologias exclusivas, mas que já são consolidadas no mercado mundial. Next slide, please, Stuart. Next one, if you... Yes, thank you. So, então, esses aí são usos, são fotos de usos práticos em campo. O primeiro é o ART, que é através da ferramenta Artemis. A gente utiliza essa ferramenta para identificar o status do anular, do riser. Okay? Então, se estiver alagado, hoje a gente está falando de ISCC, CO2, um problema bem enfático e eminente no nosso cenário brasileiro. A gente tem cerca de 40% do mercado mundial de flexíveis, então é um ponto de atenção. A gente tem uma ferramenta fantástica para a identificação do anular, do status do anular, detecção de arame rompido e também a medição de espessura dos arames, ok? Então, identificação de corrosão, etc. E tal. Então, fantástica a ferramenta do ART. O ACFM, já conhecido para trincas abertas à superfície, são normalmente trincas de fadiga, então todos os elementos estruturais aí bastante utilizados em plataformas fixas, né, onde você pode fazer as inspeções das pernas, sem a necessidade de remoção do revestimento. E interessante aqui também é o uso crescente dessa ferramenta para programas de UA, de FPSO e semissubs. O Specta, que é a técnica de PEC, adequada a um sistema robótico, também lançado por ROV, que promove essa varredura, essa possibilidade de varredura sobre revestimento. Então, se você tiver uma tubulação revestida com cimento, você pode fazer essa inspeção sem necessidade de remoção, e ainda assim você tem o panorama de perda de espessura dessa tubulação. Okay, assim, nós estamos no Brasil bastante bem representados, com contratos locais, equipes locais, então fica o convite para vocês entrarem em contato e a gente conversar mais em detalhe. Vou também tomar a liberdade de apresentar aqui a NDT Global rapidamente, que é uma empresa também parte do grupo Edify. Next one, please. Ok, next.
Márcio, desculpe, vocês estão sem tempo já, desculpe.
Sorry.
Uma pena, mas vamos ter que partir.
Tá bom.
Desculpa.
Sem problema. Fico à disposição. Obrigado, pessoal.
Obrigada, Márcio. Thank you very much, Márcio and Stuart, for your presentation. I'm sure the audience will get in touch with us to facilitate a meeting or something with not only Edify, but all the other Canadian speakers. And because of that, because we also already have 2 other companies to present, now it's time for Willaptega Marine. So I would like to invite my friend Tyler De Geer, General Manager at Willaptega Marine, to speak. Tyler, are you ready? Welcome.
I am ready. Can you see my screen and can you hear me all right?
Yes. Yes.
Great.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the wonderful audience and the opportunity to present today. So I'm from Welaptega Marine, which is an Ashtead technology company. So depending on which side of the industry you're in, you might be more familiar with Welaptega or Ashtead Technology. We're based in Canada, but Ashtead Technology has larger operations facilities in Aberdeen, Houston, Singapore, and Abu Dhabi. We're a mature company with over 30 years of inspection experience with ROV-based mooring and riser system inspection technology, among other things. We design technology in-house through iteration over years and decades to make it as simple and elegant as possible. To quote Leonardo da Vinci, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. We try to make things as simple as possible because that's going to achieve operational success under harsh environmental conditions like what we have to work with around the world. So yeah, we develop our technology in-house. We have highly trained people to operate it, and we have our certifications from the 4 major classification societies, and we have experience working in practically every floating production environment worldwide, including Brazil. So we offer a lot of technology, but the focus of this presentation is going to be on chain measurement, subsea 3D imaging, and cleaning solutions. So just before we get into the chain measurement technology, I just want to start with, why do you measure chain in the first place? Well, mooring chains are designed with very specific corrosion and wear allowances, and they're expected to degrade over their service life. And these allowances allow them to still meet their minimum safety factors at the end of their designed designed lifespan. So tracking the degradation of corrosion wear is a de facto performance standard to make sure it's still fit for purpose. The most critical dimensions for that are your intergrip, the intergrip length, which measures your wear between chain links, and your sidebar diameter, which measures your corrosion. Sometimes link length is also important if you're measuring for tensile overload and chain elongation, but the intergrip dimension length and the sidebar measurement are the most important ones. These can be measured with a variety of technology, including mechanical calipers, optical calipers, or even creating a full 3D model of a chain link to measure these. But again, when you're just looking to measure these dimensions, these discrete dimensions for tracking your corrosion and wear allowances, measurement technology is going to be cheaper and more operationally efficient than modeling the whole chain link. So to that effect, we offer a couple technologies. One is a pretty simple but robust mechanical caliper tool that can take all of those measurements. Several of these are in use in the Brazilian market as we speak, so it's well proven. But the more sophisticated technology is our optical chain measurement system. So this tool uses machine vision and combined with edge detection software that uses AI to detect the dimensions of the chain link in very rapid order. So the tool is placed on a chain link. It uses 5 video cameras that are aligned with the critical dimensions of the chain. And then it's as quick as, once you get the tool centralized, which is what you see in the screenshots here, one button, measurements produced. The benefit of this tool, it's got the highest accuracy, highest precision tool for chain measurement on the market, and you're able to use it under a variety of really heavy chain motion, which is ubiquitous throughout the Brazilian market. It's one of the biggest challenges for chain measurement is the chain heave motions. So those are the 2 technologies that we most recommend for your regular 2.5 yearly, 5 yearly kind of measurement surveys. But where your mooring chains are kind of near end of life, or they have other non-uniform kind of degradation or anomalies, that's where we'd recommend performing 3D models of chain links. And we use photogrammetry for the majority of this application. You can use it on a variety of other mooring connectors as well. We perform a lot of this year round, but again, this should be used when you have when chains are near end of life, or you need detailed strength or fatigue analysis, for instance. For regular everyday measurement, other technology is more efficient. But 3D photogrammetry can be used on a variety of other infrastructure other than mooring systems as well. This in the left side of the screen, this is an example of a 3D model of an azimuth thruster aperture from an FPSO hull to model this opening before installing a new replacement thruster. This is a steel catenary riser flexible element modeled and analyzed for surface defects to the rubber cover. And this is a 130-meter long jacket leg from the North Sea that we modeled in full to install a riser case on. Photogrammetry is great for sub-millimeter resolution, high accuracy, and the applications are, it's the best technology for digital twinning, fitness for purpose applications, repair and replacement, detailed strength analysis, those sort of applications. A lot of 3D imaging applications, though, don't demand high accuracy, high resolution. This is where we then recommend ROV 3D Recon, which you've already heard of before from Sam Bromley. This gives you roughly 1% accuracy and 5 to 10 millimeter resolution, which really actually, there's a larger market for this kind of level of accuracy and resolution than there is for the high resolution stuff. And the benefit is you don't need any trained specialists for this, and it's and you don't and it creates a live real-time model. So most of the inspection technology you see there, one of the challenges is you need to clean first. So we've also developed our in-house bespoke cleaning tools to achieve this. This is a multi-purpose subsea cleaning tool with plastic rod heads or brass chain heads, depending on whether you're cleaning soft marine growth or hard marine growth. And this is a riser cleaning and inspection system that is far and away the most efficient and safe method of cleaning long lengths of subsea flexibles. So you can see in larger detail in the view here. It uses plastic rollers and annulus of brushes to clean the entire surface of the riser, and you can even put 4 cameras on the aft end of it to do a full 360-degree close visual inspection. Finally, in keeping everything simple, we really try to drive the technology to be as simple as possible. Some of the technology that I've shown you here today can be operated without any oversight by our own personnel at all, just mobilized to the vessel and used by untrained ROV pilots. Other technology does require supervision and oversight by our technicians, but we can provide this fully remotely without putting any people on the vessel itself, right? So to do that, we connect into the vessel over a live data stream, 1 megabit per second. Upload download speed is more than enough, so you can accomplish that through your normal satellite data networks. And we operate the tooling the same as if we're on the vessel itself, which then saves you POB, bed space, and saves you a lot of cost and logistics complexity of getting people in country. So that's my presentation. Here's my contact details. Be happy to speak to any of you about further about any of the technology here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Tyler, for your presentation. And now, last but not least, I would like to invite our last speaker today. I would like to invite Mr. Greg McLean from RJ McLean. Greg, are you ready?
I think so.
Very good.
Can you see my screen?
Over to you. Yes, I can very well.
Okay, thank you.
Very well too.
Sure. Okay. Okay, this will be a little change of pace from what you've been watching. So I'm going to introduce RJ McLean Tank Services. We are tank cleaning specialists. Our mission has been challenging the status quo with energy through innovation, specifically focusing on improvements to safety, efficiency, and environmental sustainability. Our company has an outstanding safety record. We have offices in Houston, Texas, Gonzales, Louisiana, and we're headquartered in the Edmonton area in Canada. You can see some of our customers below, all of the Canadian major oil companies. We have a North American master service agreement with Shell, Lyondell, Basell, ConocoPhillips, Imperial Oil, which is ExxonMobil in Canada, PBF refineries, and pipeline companies such as Enbridge. We offer tailored solutions to your tank cleaning problems. We do tank profiling. We have patented tools for pulling representative samples from deep inside the tank. We do tank level topography through IR scanning and also computational fluid dynamics modeling. And what we're offering is a standalone service for tank inspections and improved scope clarity. We are a tank cleaning service company, so we will get to the robotic side of that later in the presentation. So we do the MOC planning for Shell in North America. We undertake all the planning activities with the client, give them task-specific breakdowns, and we offer detailed execution plans for tank cleaning to our customers. We also have a great deal of subcontracting that's involved, as we are only a tank cleaning service. We are tank and vessel cleaning. We're not a trucking or hauling service. We debug tanks through some of our proprietary tools, a sandpiper or tank sweep system that circulates tanks and removes the bulk of the material without manned entry. That is our objective, is to reduce or eliminate manned entry. We do processing and remediation of your sludge, so we look at recovering your valuable hydrocarbons and also tank degassing. Robotics phase, we'll jump right into that. We do confined space entry and fine cleaning for API 653 inspections. I will move to tank scoping. We have, as I mentioned, patented tooling for reaching deep inside the tanks and pulling samples from the bottom. We do tend to pull our samples from the bottom so that we get the worst of the worst in terms of profiling the nature and consistency of tank sludge. So we extract those samples, take them to our lab, and develop our approach to tank cleaning from there. We give specific analysis and tailored cleaning solutions according to our profiling results, and opportunities for waste remediation, which is a huge savings to our clients in tank cleaning operations. We have put a lot of thought into our leadership and project management. We strategize. We have industry-leading technology and equipment, continually challenging the status quo. We were the first to bring robotic tank cleaning to Canada, and lots of imitators, no equals. We do a great deal of pre-project planning so that we're able to execute your project turnaround under the specified duration. We are well known for achieving the completion of projects on schedule or ahead of schedule. We reduce outage duration and improve scope clarity. And again, because of our sludge processing, processes, we are able to realize your ESG goals and have data to support that. A little bit about circulation equipment. We desludge large diameter storage tanks using several different pieces of equipment, but the big thing is to draw these tanks down to a level that's manageable for other systems that we have. Everything that I'm showing you is fully integratable, so we're able to work with all of these systems on a single tank. Osprey system is a system that enters or that injects fluid through the roof to emulsify sludge and push it to our circulating systems. We have tank cleaning robotic systems. These are developed by us and built by us. You may see some of these on the market, but these are built in-house by our company. We have robotic cannons. They have full recording function. We can see how projects are progressing inside the tank. High volume high volume pressure allows us to wash tanks. They're intrinsically safe. Injecting and degassing a chemistry prior to manned entry. ROVs, we use ROVs to enter through a 24-inch manway. So we've eliminated the need to cut door sheets in the side of tank shells. Provides mobile suction point and high pressure injection. They're equipped with multi-directional cameras. They're intrinsically safe, and they treat problem areas where cannon washing from the shell is not possible. Tank sludge movers, these can be manned or unmanned. They're designed again for entry through 24-inch manways. The operator is supplied air if there is an operator on it, enables a single entrant to build inside the tank and to operate. This replaces a crew of 10, I would say more personnel for confined space entry. It reduces duration of debulking tanks by an entry crew by at least 60%. You can see what we're dealing with here. This is a mover in a tank. Okay, again, mover in the tank. This is the type of work that we do. And there is the finished product. This tank, the sister tank, took a traditional tank cleaning crew 3.5 months to clean, $6 million. This tank was done by us in 4 weeks and under $3 million. So that there again is some of what we do. And then why RJ McLean Tank Services? We have a health and safety. We've managed to reduce hazardous manned entry in tanks on average by approximately 90%. We have, again, this is very important to our clients, expedited execution, high efficiency processes that allow us to get the work done on schedule. Predictable outcomes. We do a lot of profiling up front. So that and a lot of testing in our labs and determine what a predictable outcome is for our clients. This is a huge thing in tank cleaning. Reduce disposal costs because typically we're processing out the hydrocarbons, recovering the water, and only sending solids away for disposal. Again, lower outage times and unique specialty equipment. We do offer tailored solutions to our clients based on their needs. That I tried to go through that as quickly as I could.
Thank you, Greg. You did very well. Thank you very much. I would like to thank all our 7 Canadian companies. We didn't have only 7 speakers, but I think we had 8. Thank you very much. I would like to move on to the questions and answer session. And I'm not sure, I was having a look here. I don't see many questions in the chat. And I would like to encourage our Brazilian audience to open their microphones and start by asking questions. You can speak Portuguese because we have translation, or if you want, you can speak English. If you don't have any questions, I have a few questions here for each company, but I think we should wait for the audience to maybe start with questions. I would like to encourage our Brazilian audience. Let's go, guys. You can speak in Portuguese if you want. Anyone would like to start? Not? Oh, I think somebody. Hello?
Eu vou começar aqui
Ok, Barreto, que bom.
Eu vou começar para quebrar o gelo. Eu tenho uma pergunta aqui para o Tyler. Aquele equipamento que ele mostrou realizando a limpeza do duto, se o mesmo equipamento pode ser adaptado para limpezas em caixa de mar, em sea chest, ou até mesmo de amarras ou outro equipamento que queira ser limpo.
Okay, so just going to pop up my screen here for a moment. Just make sure we're talking about the right technology. Oh. Here we go. You see my screen? So we're talking about the multi-purpose subsea cleaning tool. Is this the cleaning tool being referred to?
Isso, é essa mesmo. Se ela pode ser para limpar caixas de mar, clean sea chests, or...
Yes, absolutely. I would definitely recommend the plastic rod attachments for it on any coated components to maintain the coating integrity. But yes, you could absolutely clean inside sea chests. You could even modify the tool to have a longer handle so you can stick it further into the sea chest than using the standard handle. So yeah, it's a very flexible tool to be used on a variety of different infrastructure.
Ok, obrigado. Thank you.
Thank you.
Obrigada, Barreto. Alguém gostaria? Eu entendo que teve uma pessoa que levantou a mão da Transpetro, eu acho.
Yes, my name is Michel. I have a question.
Okay, Michel.
I have a question to Greg from McLean. I'd like to know if McLean has a representative in Brazil.
We don't at the moment, but we would be happy to start discussion.
All right, thanks.
Mais perguntas? Tem no chat perguntas? Deixa eu ver. Barreto, você gostaria de fazer mais alguma pergunta aí para os canadenses? Por favor, eu vou dar uma olhada aqui no chat também.
Eu anotei, eu tomei algumas notas aqui. Eu tenho uma pergunta aí para a Patrícia. Quando ela mostrou aquele escaneamento do oleoduto, do oleoduto, ele estava imerso no... A foto que você mostrou estava imerso, o duto estava imerso no leito, na lama ali, assim, quantos metros? Ou ele já estava limpo e exposto para você fazer aquela tomada?
Na verdade, ele estava 1.800 metros debaixo da água, né? É a informação que eu tenho, mas eu vou pedir meu colega de trabalho, o Brandon, está aqui na ligação, e ele é uma pessoa um pouco mais técnica, ele vai levar essa pergunta. Hey, Brandon, I don't know if you heard the question. If not, I think he can repeat it for you, but if you can take over the question, that would help me out.
Yeah. So that pipeline there was about 1,800 meters, and it would have been, I mean, technically cleaned, but not by any service or robotic entity. It would have just been natural from the seabed and from the water, wiping away any sort of debris or sediment that would have fallen on top of
it. A minha pergunta não é a profundidade da lâmina d'água, é se ele estava imerso na lama e se você consegue escanear ele com 1,5 metro de lama ou de areia, o que seja, ou se você tem que fazer a sucção para ter aquele escaneamento.
Deixa eu fazer a tradução no meio. A tecnologia
so
ótica.
You wouldn't be able to scan it if there's anything covering. Because it's an optical based system, you need to be able to actually see the object that's being scanned. You could have, so if it was being covered by seabed per se, you could have scanned the seabed on top of it and would have seen the different elevation caused by the pipe below, but you wouldn't have actually been able to see the pipe. So it doesn't penetrate through. Hope that answers it, yeah? Awesome.
Ok, eu entendo que o Gustavo Guerreiro, da Vibra, gostaria de fazer uma pergunta. É isso, Gustavo? Você está por aí ainda?
Isso, tô Nadine. Eu tentei deixar ali, mas acho que é melhor, de repente, refazer aqui, né? É uma pergunta geral, talvez mais direcionada para a McLean, né, sobre a inspeção de tanques, que é um caso nosso aqui, a gente tem interesse. E eu estou vendo as tecnologias muito falando sobre mergulho em água, etc. Né? Mas no nosso caso, a gente gostaria de saber se vocês têm alguma solução de robô ou outra que seja, que mergulhe no combustível para fazer inspeção de fundo de tanque.
Yeah, I guess this would be also directed to RJ McLean, but if any other Canadian companies can do that, please go ahead and answer. Maybe first you, Greg, could answer the question, please.
We would love to find that technology, and I've taken all the presenters' names here to start asking that question. One of the problems that we run into in doing this kind of inspection in tanks is usually we run into different densities and viscosities in the liquid. So in all of these technologies, I know that does present some problems in it, and if anybody has some solutions for this, I'd be more than interested to hear them. We can deliver the systems to the inside of the tank, but we haven't had much success with any technology as far as inspections of the tank topography to give us precise measurements of deposition in the tank. So if somebody had a solution to that, we should talk.
Hi, it's Liam here from NDT Edify Robotics. So our on-spec services group or solutions group, which Stuart mentioned during our presentation, we do make a number of different cleaning solutions that can have a number of different NDT elements to understand that deposition. And some examples of this, like in-tank inspection, can be shared offline, I think, if it's something that we would like to talk in more detail, Greg. Again, we don't provide a service. We only specifically manufacture the equipment itself, but we have some examples of heavy sludge and heavy marine growth cleaning systems that are designed to be deployed in line, which we can share some offline information. It's quite customer sensitive, some of it, so I think it'd be better to discuss separately.
Yeah,
but I think
Edify, the group that me and Liam work for, Edify, they kind of specialize in NDT solutions for storage tanks. So our customer base have been pushing us for many years to have an in situ robot to avoid tank entry. But your pictures basically told the story that I've been telling for quite a few years. Is visual inspection is such an important part of the integrity management of storage tanks. And to be able to get a thorough visual inspection when you're dealing with sludge like you're showing in your pictures, it's very difficult. So there is movement to try and do in situ robots for NDT inspection of storage tanks. But I don't think it's right now is ever going to replace a thorough inspection. It will be a complementary method to the thorough integrity management of storage facilities.
Sure, it's so important it's so important for us and for our clients and any of our potential clients there that may be listening. If we're able to precisely measure deposition in the tank, it affects the scope and the predictability of the outcome immensely. I would say that we are probably at best maybe around, if we employ all of our capabilities to scope these tanks, we're probably at best in the 85 to 90% range, which and that 15% can certainly impact outcomes.
No, definitely worth a chat, Greg.
I think that's a key important part, is that we're not looking at in-service inspection, but to be able to in-service measure the depositions.
Yeah.
I mean, Brendan is on the call from Voyis. The solutions that I'm talking about is a robotic solution that deploys one of the Voyis laser scanners. So that's a good,
Sure.
again, a good collaboration example. So again, it's something that we could probably pick up afterwards.
Good point.
And we've been looking all over the world for this. We just didn't look in our own backyard, I guess.
Yeah, three Canadian companies.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? Anyone else from the Brazilian audience would like to ask a question to one of the Canadian companies? Please don't be shy. Não precisa ser. Vamos.
Tem uma pergunta no chat, Nadine, do Bruno Gomes para RJ McLean.
Eu não estou conseguindo ver o chat. Você me ajuda, Carla? Não sei por quê.
Ajudo. Bruno, você quer fazer a pergunta diretamente? Ou você quer que a gente lê a pergunta para ele?
Espera aí, só um instantinho.
Vai lá, Bruno.
Opa, desculpa, que eu estava sem acesso ao meu microfone. Mas enfim, a pergunta seria, well, the question is to RJ McLean. So, I work at SBM Offshore, so our main product is FPSOs. So my question would be for RJ McLean has an experience providing tank cleaning services offshore, more specifically in FPSO cargo tanks. And if so, if they have any dedicated robotic solutions that aid in this kind of service.
Yes, we are actively involved in the tank cleaning market in the Gulf Coast. I have limited experience offshore, but through the hiring process in Louisiana, for instance, we're hiring a lot of people with offshore experience in terms of service vessel cleaning. I've done that overseas in the Caspian. Yeah, and if you were to look at our website or come and talk to us, we work at providing our clients with tailored solutions. So there may be some limitations to offshore tank and vessel cleaning that require special tools. That's what we do. The people that build our tools are the people that operate our tools. So we are very experienced tank and vessel cleaners. That is what we do. Again, we're because of our work in the Gulf Coast, we're getting a pretty good complement of supervisors and lead hand people with offshore experience. Yes. Quick answer, yes.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Brad.
Obrigada, Carla. Tem mais alguma coisa aí no chat? Que eu não sei porque eu não estou conseguindo ter acesso.
No chat não tem mais nenhuma, só pergunta sobre as apresentações.
Tá. Bom, então, gente...
Nadine?
Yeah. Opa!
Posso fazer uma pergunta? O Bruno fez a dele, agora tem a minha.
Por favor. Você é o Gustavo?
Isso.
Vamos lá, Gustavo, por favor.
So I have the same question. I have the same question for Kraken Robotics and Laptega. I'd like to know more about the 3D chain measurement, the photogrammetry. I would like to know first the minimum and the max depth that it can scan the chain. I'm asking about the minimum, if it can work near the splash zone. And also I'd like to know if you provide the whole solution or it's only the hardware and I need to find my ROV company, for example.
I can start, Gustavo. We don't provide ROVs ourselves, but we do work we've designed the tools to work with really any type of ROVs available. So anything from like an observation class ROV from about the size of say a Falcon, subsea Falcon up, we'll be able to work on with our chain measurement technology. That'd be the mechanical caliper. We're redeveloping the optical caliper that we showed. That's only usable by work class ROVs right now, but we're in the middle of redeveloping that for observation class ROVs as well. When it comes to photogrammetry, We can go even smaller on the ROVs. It's a simple hardware setup. It's single camera and 2 lights, so it can work on not nano ROVs, but quite small ROVs. And in shallow water, we frequently work in those kind of environments.
Patrick from Kraken here. So very equivalent question. Sea Vision is a laser, so it works by combining laser and photogrammetry. It can work on observation class ROVs from a Falcon all the way up to work class. The sensor itself works, it's limited by the ROV operational depth, and depending on the sea states, the operational depth of a Falcon can be about 10 meters or shallower. It really depends on the weather conditions. And maximum depth is 3,000 meters.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions? So if we don't, I'm going to just make some final remarks here. And I would like to give you some provide us with some important information. We will be able to share the presentations with the audience by request if you guys want to have access to the presentations. Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much for our Canadian speakers, our Canadian clients who took the time to present here in this webinar. Thank you very much for our audience of Brazilian companies and companies operating in Brazil. I believe and I hope this has been productive, fruitful to both sides, both the Canadian suppliers and the Brazilian companies. We will get in touch with the audience individually to follow up and ask whether you guys would like to connect with any of the Canadian presenters individually. So thank you very much again. I would like to invite my colleague, Francisco Barreto from SLUM, our partner, to say a few last words before we close this event. Thank you very much again, everybody, for being here today. Barreto, é com você agora. Vamos lá. Rapidinho.
Obrigado, Nadine, pelo convite, pela oportunidade de estar com vocês, de conhecer um pouco dessas tecnologias, principalmente de robótica, de limpeza de tanque. É um prazer estar com essa equipe e compartilhar esse conhecimento com vocês. A SLUM está sempre à disposição para apoiar tanto aos operadores quanto aos provedores também de bens e serviços e as associações em comum. Obrigado aí, pessoal.
Obrigada, Barreto. Então, obrigada, audiência brasileira, mais uma vez. A gente tem uma audiência ainda grande nesse finalzinho. Obrigada por ficarem até o fim. Thank you very much, our clients, our Canadian clients. Guys, it was a pleasure. We're going to close this webinar. And in the near future, get back to you. We are probably going to organize others in other areas. So this is a format that we like to do. Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Be in touch with everybody. Bye, guys.
Obrigada.
Obrigada. Valeu, obrigada.
Tchau, obrigado.
Nadine?